Okay, I'd like to call the January Finance meeting to order, and we're going to get started with resolution number 1. Okay, resolution number 1, requesting permission for the Office of the Aging to contract with the Elizabeth Fire Department for a period of up to 3 years to provide a facility at a rate of $350 per month to provide congregate meals to seniors.
I'll move it, Morel.
Second, Livonia.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 2, to contract with Care Manage for All LLC to provide a powerful tools for caregiver program for caregivers.
I'll move it, Morel.
I'll second it, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 3, to change the status of one transportation aide from part-time to full-time.
I'll move it.
I'll second it, Morel.
Motion.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 4, to promote nutrition site coordinator from grade 17C to 18B.
I'll move it, Simmons.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 5, to promote the assistant administrator from grade 17B to 18B.
Move it, Morel.
Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 6, request authorization to fill 3 caseworker positions, grade 15, base salary $55,293, and any backfills created therefrom.
Move it, Morel. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That was from the resignation, by the way, too. Okay, number 7, request authorization to fill 1 child support specialist position, grade 12A, base salary $45,158, and any backfills created therefrom. And this is also from an employee's resignation.
Move it, Morel.
Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 8, request authorization to fill 1 senior account clerk, grade 11A5, base salary $41,930, and any backfills created therefrom. And this is current, also, this vacancy is from an employee's resignation.
I'll move it.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 9, request authorization to convert 1 clerk typist position, grade 10.5, to 1 community services aide position, grade 10.5, base salary $37,327, and any backfills created therefrom.
I'll move it, Morel. This gives the agency more flexibility.
Right.
Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 10, request authorization to enter into an agreement with Ishab Abdullah for the provision of Imani or Arabic translation services.
Move it, Morel. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 11, request authorization to enter into an agreement with the Mental Health Association of Columbia Greene Counties, Inc. for the provision of a warming engagement site and field support team.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 12, request authorization for the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to enter into an agreement on behalf of the Columbia County Department of Social Services with the Salvation Army for the provision of work experience activities.
Move it. Kippy. Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 13, authorization to amend the Department of Human Services 2022 budget and contract due to approved COLAs.
I'll move it.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second,
Aye.
opposed? Carried. Number 14, authorization for the Board of Supervisors to modify Resolution Number 381, 2021, for consultant Carlos Valley, MD, on behalf of the Department of Human Services, DHS Clinic.
I'll move it, Morel. Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 15, authorization for the Board of Supervisors to appoint new Community Services Board and Subcommittee members.
I'll move it.
I have the names down here.
Second, Kippy.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 16, authorization to sign a business associate agreement with Sun River Hudson River Healthcare.
Move it, Morel.
Second, Kippy.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 17, authorization for the Department of Human Services to contract with Kathy Darling for temporary consultation nurse practitioner services.
I'll move it, Kippy. I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 18, Columbia County partner with Greene County to fund mobile crisis assessment team services for 2022.
I'll move it, Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
If I could just add, this is a program we were gonna use ARPA funds. to
Right,
fund. So it's not gonna be tax dollars.
correct. Number 19, authorization to create and fill 2 healthy neighborhood specialist positions.
Move it, Morel.
Second, Kippy.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 20, authorization to contract with the Healthcare Consortium for staffing to support COVID-19 efforts.
Move it, Kippy.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 21, authorize the Health Department to contract with an agency to provide bilingual evaluations for preschoolers.
I'll move it.
Morel.
We had a motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 22, Public Safety. Authorization to accept the 2021-22 Ignition Interlock Device Monitoring Program allocation in the amount of $4,379 for the period of October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022. The allocation is based upon the average number of court orders in your Columbia County during the 2019 and 2020 calendar years.
Move it, Kippy.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 23, to create and fill a paralegal position, full-time, at a salary of $50,601, less the 15% step.
I'll move it.
Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 24, authorization for the district attorney to transfer grant funds for the purchase of new computer equipment.
Move it, Kippy.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 25, Public Safety. Request to fill budgeted emergency dispatcher 1 position due to retirement on 3/30/2022.
Move it, Kipping.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 26, resolution request. Request authorization to extend contract for FY14 statewide interoperable communications grant, originally totaling $3,500,000, original resolution 371/2015, 373/2019, and last resolution 66/2021. Contract to be extended to December 31st, 2022. Grant will be dispersed in accordance with state homeland security and emergency services guidelines.
Move it, Kipping.
second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 27, Public Safety. To accept the grant award, distribution number 12 contract in the amount of $50,581 over a 3-year period from the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services to the Columbia County Public Defender's Office and authorize the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to sign the contract. This award is for continuation of distribution number 9. Once distribution number 9 is exhausted for the term of 1/1/2022 to 12/31/2024.
I'll move it, Morel. Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 28. Authorization for the sheriff office to fill a budgeted vacant full-time position of deputy sheriff captain.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Number 29. Authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a budgeted vacant full-time position of deputy sheriff sergeant.
Move it.
I'll second it, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 30. Authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a vacant budgeted full-time position of deputy sheriff.
Move it.
Move it, Kipping.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 31. Authorization for the sheriff's office to purchase ammunition.
I'll move it, Simmons.
Second, Kipping.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Matt, what was the reasoning behind that? Why we had to authorize that? I remember you asked the question because it doesn't make sense to me why we're
Yeah,
Authorizing ammo, yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, it should come out of their
budget.
contractual budget, or
I thought it was over a certain amount they explained to us.
Yeah, he said it was over, I think, so many rounds, or the expense was over $5,000 or something like that. So he's asking for us to do it. That's what he said.
DJ, you were nodding up there. You're on.
You're on mute. You're on
We
mute.
can't read lips.
We can. Be careful, we can.
Yeah, it's in our policy, anything over 5,000.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
See, I was paying attention.
Yeah,
job.
we were.
All right, we're on number 32 with public safety. This is authorization to purchase 2 patrol vehicles.
Move
And
it,
this is
Kipping.
coming out of, before we go on, this is coming out of ARPA funds, Matt? Are we using that on it?
ARPA funds allocated for five vehicles. I'm not sure if these are the 5. You know, one of the 5.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that,
I
but, okay.
think this is just coming out of their budget, not ARPA.
Not ARPA? Okay. All right.
I'll move
We
it.
have, we have a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Just so you guys know that those cars, the only reason they're getting 2, they needed more, but that's all they can get.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're grabbing what they can get, and they're gonna stand in line for the next 3 or 4 or whatever they need.
I didn't see, I didn't know if there was a premium charge in those cars too. I was kind of wondering
The
about that.
prices had changed. They said, they're gonna get 10, but as Craig said, as they get more, it might be 4 that they come back with us with. We'll see what they can get their hands on. And the prices are higher, so they're shopping them and changing and doing a lot of things.
Good, good. So we gotta be careful. Some of this comes out of ARPA money also. That's what we talk. So number 33, approved contract with medical director for supervision of Columbia County Emergency Medical Services 911.
I'll move that. Simmons.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 34, authorize the chairman to renew emergency medical service agreements with the following agencies effective April 1st, 2022, and that was Green Court, Community, Glacier, Chatham, Northern Dutchess, and then Need for New York State renewal due April 1st, 2022.
Move it, Kippy.
Second, Morel.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 35, county government to hire a worker on a per diem basis at the election technician rate of $20 an hour. This worker will be assuming the role of Republican Deputy Commissioner upon retirement of the current Republican Deputy Commissioner.
Move it, Kippy.
Second.
Simmons.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 36, authorization to fill 2 motor vehicle cashier examiner positions in DMV.
Move it. Simmons.
I'll second it.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 37, authorization for the MIS department to enter into an agreement with municipalities of Columbia County who utilize online video meeting services which are broadcast to YouTube. Broadcasted to YouTube.
Move it, Morel.
Second.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 38, authorization for the County of Columbia to offer an optional 20-year retirement plan to Theodore Blank, a deputy sheriff employed by Suffolk County.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. County government, authorization to appoint a member to the Environmental Management Council.
Move it, Kippy.
Second, Morel.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I guess that's Colleen Lutz.
Yep.
Number 40, county government. Authorizing the Columbia County Board of Supervisors as seeker lead agent to make a determination that the addition of New York State Agriculture and Markets Law, Article 25AA, Agricultural District Section 303B, properties to Columbia County Agricultural District Number 10 will not have a significant environmental impact, will not require an environmental impact statement, and that a negative declaration be issued by said Columbia County Board of Supervisors.
I'll move that.
Second. Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 41, resolution to approve the New York State Agricultural and Markets Law, Article 25AA, Agricultural District Section 303B, properties to Columbia County Agricultural District Number 10.
Move it. Simmons.
Second.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 42, county government. Authorization to enter into agreement to commence promotion of a community solar campaign.
I'll
Move it, Kippy.
Second, and I'll second it.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 43, economic development. Authorization to appoint a member to the Workforce Development Board.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 44. Authorization to renew the contract with Columbia Economic Development Corporation.
I'll move it, Morel. I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 45. Public Works. The Solid Waste Department is seeking authorization to fill one part-time labor position, grade 11, step 1, hourly rate of $16.51. This was due to a promotion.
I'll move it, Morel.
Second, Kippy.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 46, authorization to enter into a service agreement with Metla Toledo to maintain scale services.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 47, authorization for the Chairman of the Board of Supervisors to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the Town of Greenport, New York, to collect and dispose of their municipal solid waste and recyclable material.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 48, authorization for the Columbia County Solid Waste Department to enter into an agreement with commercial establishments to provide waste disposal services.
I'll move it, Morel.
Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 49, due to resignation, we are requesting to fill one budgeted senior building maintenance worker, grade 14B, and any vacancies that may be created due to internal promotion.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 50, due to a resignation, we are looking to fill one maintenance worker position, grade 12, and any vacancies that may be created due to internal promotion.
Move it, Morel.
Second, Simmons.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Due to termination, we are looking to fill one full-time laborer, grade 11A, and any vacancies that may be created due to internal promotion.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 52, due to termination, we are looking to fill one part-time grade 11A and any vacancies that may be created due to internal promotion.
Move it, Stats.
Second.
Second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 53, to authorize the Chairman of the Board of Supervisors of Columbia County to apply for a grant-free application for a runway 3 end and partial parallel taxiway rehabilitation construction project. The design
Move it,
grant was,
Simmons. Oops, sorry.
it's okay. We have a motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 54, to authorize the Chairman of the Board of Supervisors to execute an agreement with Partners in Safety, Inc. by drug and alcohol testing services to County Department of Public Works for the 2022 calendar year.
Move it, Morel.
We have a motion. We need a second. Matt, you want a second? Okay. Rob, second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 55, authorization to extend the existing services contract for pavement marking, tire services, hot in place recycling, and shotcrete to all vendors listed on the attached Appendix B for one additional year as provided for the existing contracts awarded on the Board Resolution Number 80, 2020-21.
I'll move it. Second, Morel.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 56, authorization to declare the following piece of equipment surplus and sell it in our line auction, Highway number 3A, 2009 Grand Cherokee.
I'll move it.
Second, Simmons.
The second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 57, a resolution is requested authorizing the chairman of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors to execute a professional services agreement with MRB Group of Rochester, New York, in the amount of $2,490 preparation of an independent fee estimate per requirement of FAA AC 150-114E and sign the FAA funding year 2022.
Move it.
We have a motion,
Simmons.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Is that, Ron, is that where, we saved 14,000 for doing it in-house or something?
No, that's, another one. That's the, multi-bridge contract.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, number 58. A resolution is requested authorizing the chairman of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors to execute a professional services agreement with Bartlett and LaJudas of Albany, New York, in the amount of $66,300 for the design of repairs and restoration and bridge element-specific repairs. This was the one.
This is the one, yes, and I'll second Ray's thing, but just to inform everybody, when we bid this out last year, we bid this out with construction services included, and that was another $14,000 contract, and because we now have an engineer on staff, we're doing that in-house to save the county that money, so that was good news for us.
So we put 14,000 in Ray's side.
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 59, a resolution is requested authorizing the chairman of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors to execute a supplemental agreement number 1 to Bridge New York Funding Agreement, County Contract 131-17, dated 4/12/17, between New York State DOT and Columbia County to amend the previously adopted Schedule A for PIN 87668, County 21 tributary to Aquamic Creek.
I'll move it, Morel.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 60 in finance. Authorization for Central Services to enter into a 5-year lease agreement with Repeat Business Systems.
Marissa's on if anybody has any questions on this from Central Services.
Okay.
I'll move it, Morel.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any questions on that? No? Okay. Number 61, authorization to award the bid for meat products, bid number 21-019 to Ginsberg Foods and Worley's Foods, Inc. for the period of March 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2022.
Move it, Simmons.
I'll second it. Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 62, authorization to award the bid for canned frozen foods, bid number 21-020 to Ginsberg Foods and Worley's Foods for the period of March 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2022.
I'll move it.
Second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 63, modifying the 2022 adopted budget utilizing American Rescue Plan Act funds to restore the 20% reduction to outside agencies, and there's a list of them.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 64, to fill the vacant full-time inventory clerk position.
I'll move it.
Second,
I'll
Simmons.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 65, authorization to fill the vacant Director of Accounting and Auditing position.
I'll move that.
We have a motion. Ron, second it?
Yep.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 66, resolution to transfer funds from Wayne Bank Tax Stabilization Account to Key Bank and to establish an investment deposit account for these funds and transfer additional funds from general fund to Key Bank Tax Stabilization Account not to exceed $2.2 million.
Yeah, I can address that a little bit.
Sure.
Right now, we have a savings account with our tax stabilization money in Wayne Bank, and there's about $2.8 million in there. In my discussions with the chairman and the budget officer, what we'd like to do is, because we are flush with cash right now, I'd like to transfer up to $2.2 million and make that tax stabilization account a $5 million account. And in addition to that, because we did read policies a couple of months ago, so that it adheres to New York State Comptroller's Office and the investment policies, we are able to invest this money in different types of funds, such as treasury bills and commercial paper. Right now, Key Bank, whom we've had relationships with before, offering treasury bills at a much higher rate than what we're getting now. It's not a big thing to go from 0.25 up to 0.6 or 0.7, but it is additional money. And just to give you a little bit of history about this tax stabilization account, we did way back in the year 2000, and that was created from the excess funds that were saved from the tobacco securitization. And at the time, there was $1.7 million savings, and there was a resolution authorizing to take that $1.7 million, subtract out the $400,000 that the municipalities have been being paid all along, and it started off with $1.3 million. So that gives you kind of the history of it. Again, it hasn't been really touched since I've been here, and I don't think Ken touched it at all either. So I'm looking to probably try to invest that for maybe like a year, because I don't anticipate in the next year having to need to touch it at all either. So that's what this is about.
That's good to see that, PJ, that we got cash there to be able to move around and invest.
Yeah, I think we need to tuck some aside for a rainy day, because
Yeah,
we've
Yeah,
all
that-
been there.
and that also could come quicker than you realize.
So just so you know, to move funds out of this tax stabilization account, there are policies that were written at the time too. It can be used for like unexpected expenditures or unexpected loss of revenue. And also we can use it for if there's a tax increase required of over 2.5% for that as well. So kind of gives you a little bit of the history of it.
Okay. Very good.
The 2/3 majority to spend it.
Okay.
I'll move it, Morel.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I guess to get just a little bit more, we're never going to get the numbers, but whatever we can chip away and get at small numbers does help.
Yep. Kelly, are you on? I do have a cash flow forecast too. They sent.
Yes, I'm just pulling it up because I didn't have it scanned in with
Okay. Just
those because we wanted it in color. So bear with me one sec.
Yep. No problem. Just to keep the committee up to date.
James, while you're waiting, I was just wondering, have you had any luck finding anyone yet for that deputy position?
We've done a couple interviews. I think we're doing a round of second interviews next week and hopefully have a decision by the end of next week.
Good. Okay.
All right. There's a couple different slides here. This first one basically is pretty impressive. We've been working with this outfit 3+1 that works with many municipalities across the state, and they actually run through every single check that we use. And what I base our cash flow on is not our miscellaneous account, not the road fund, not some of the other major funds, but just our core accounts that I consider our operating account. And this would also include our tax stabilization account as well. So it's unrestricted cash that we usually deal with. And this is pretty impressive that this is the previous forecast to actual. You'll see that what they forecasted, trying to look at the colors here myself. The original forecast is in blue, the actual is in yellow. So they were off by 0.5%. That's pretty impressive over the last several periods. So next slide, Kelly. All right, this is our cash flow forecast moving forward for the next 6 months. Again, you'll see the forecast is the blue line, the prior year actual is the yellow, and then there's a low forecast as well. What they're estimating is that we're looking at approximately $9 million on hand more in the next 6 months than we had last year. So in addition to this helps me be able to look at our investments. So in addition to taking our tax stabilization fund and probably sticking that away for a year, we're probably looking at laddering another $5 million over periods of times, like 60 and 90 days, so on and so forth, to see as the rates pump up. So that's what we'll be doing, because we do have the cash to do that with. And that's the purpose of this cash flow forecast, to help us identify what excess, as long as you guys don't spend much.
We can stack the 90 days counts, right, through PJ? This way we do multiple ones, or?
Yep. So that's
Okay.
it. Pretty simple. It's about a 20-page report, but it comes down to this.
Okay. Well, it's all good news.
We've
Is
been
there-
the other way. We've been the other way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Wasn't that long ago.
No.
So if there's anyone else have anything else to discuss?
Just one quick question, PJ. What do we have in free cash right now?
We have about the report at the end of December, we had 25.6, but that includes the 5.6 ARPA money, so it's about 20.
Right.
Okay.
And of that 20, is that all unrestricted?
Nebulization.
Okay.
There are
Yeah.
other things that are in there as well,
Thank you.
but we probably have around 50.
I was just going to say that, right? Probably about 15, 14,
Yeah.
15, a real bottom number. That's where we wanted to be anyway.
Right.
Know.
Thank you.
Is there anything else? Anybody else like to? Supervisor, I don't see who raised their hand.
Collins.
That's Donnell.
Okay, Don, sorry.
Hey, I'm not on the committee, but I just wanted to ask PJ if you'd suffer me. Looking into the state budget, I see they're no longer taking the AIM payments away from the county to give back, but they're talking about making the distressed provider permanent. Did you read it?
Yes, I did read that. So that's the payments that they did put in for the hospital, so on and so
Right.
forth. Yeah, that's going to be permanent, but the AIM payments now are going to go directly to the towns.
Is that still going to be roughly $200,000 a year out of the full county tax?
Yeah.
Yeah, the AIM money we're getting back is about 330, and I think the distressed hospital is about 250. That goes towards that.
Right.
So it's a good enough trade-off, although it's unfortunate that, and have the hospitals seen any of that money that they
That's
took?
a dime of that money, from what I've read. It goes into the general fund, and then no one knows what happens to it after that.
5 years later, $2 will show up.
Yeah.
It's like that 35-cent telephone charge. Remember?
And then everybody will get, yeah, right, exactly. Where's that 911 fee go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But they are going to tax some Airbnbs, which may or may not affect the occupancy charge committee, correct, Chairman?
Yes, that is in the budget proposal, but.
Matt, you're muted.
I said, as far as I know, it won't, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
All right, well, I'll get off the mic, but PJ, thanks for those fourth quarter numbers. That was Christmas all over again for the towns. We really appreciate it.
Enjoy it. Let's hope it's free.
Yeah.
Save it for a rainy day, right, PJ? Because it's coming, you know.
Can't wait.
Okay, is there anybody else? If not, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Have a good afternoon,
Thank
everyone.